Hello, everyone. Dragon Goes to Japan here. This is me doing a voiceover of my trip around the shrines around the Chinese Quarter in Nagasaki. Just for a little bit of history information, these shrines were built during the Sakoku era of Japan, which is also called the Locked Country, where they decided to be isolated from the world before they allowed foreign travelers and traders into Japan. This was during the Edo period in about the early 17th century, and it didn't change until the 1850s in Japan. This shrine that I'm walking around is called Tajin Yakshi Hillside. This part of the Chinese Quarter actually housed around 5,000 people at its peak when it was first done. This one right here that you see a little bit of is actually where the government officials were actually allowed to do trading with the Japanese government while they were staying here in Japan. There's another facility in Dejima that is located closer to the center of Nagasaki. This was also the shrine that's dedicated to the Chinese earth god, and this actually burnt down in 1784. It was rebuilt in 1950, and then it now is restored in 1977. So here you see me. I'm walking through to the next shrine along the way, which is Tenkodo. This shrine was built in 1736, about the same time as the other ones during this video. It burned to the ground in 1786, which most of these all burned due to a giant fire that took place during this era in time. The shrine that you'll see me come up to when I get there is a shrine to the Mazu goddess. So it's like coastal seas. So for seafaring travelers, it was used as a way to help ensure good, smart travel between going home and going to Japan. So it was often visited by many Chinese that were there at the time. It was a big era here in Japan because a lot of people don't understand the importance of being culturally locked off from the rest of the world for so long. Because it was so long, the first time people actually did trading with most Japanese was actually done in the southern islands of Kishu, like Nagasaki and Saga, because it was the closest to China as well. It was along the route for the new trade route for the Dutch East India Trading Company, which you'll actually, if you look up online, you will see that the Dutch have been here a long time in Japan doing business with the Japanese. So, the next place I'm going is the Kanando Shrine. This is actually a weird shrine. I didn't get a lot of inside of most of these shrines. I was kind of in a hurry. But this is actually an interesting shrine because it's dedicated to the Buddhist goddess Mercury. And not Mercury is the planet as much as Mercury is the element, which is a little weird for me since I don't understand why you would worship an element that can kill you. But that is what I've read about online, and what I've come to understand is it's not about a planet, it's about the metal Mercury. So it's a little interesting. This shrine actually was also, when I get there, was actually built in 1737, about the same time as the rest, to house the Chinese Quarter. It burned in 84. People don't also understand that when it was burned down, it was actually burned down during a Great Fire, and there was also riots going through the streets of Nagasaki. From the signs that I've read, that's how a lot of these buildings have been burnt to the ground and rebuilt from the bottom up. So that's kind of what's happened a lot here. But it was burned down. It was rebuilt in 1917, and it's pretty much been this way since. I'm mostly walking around at this point in my video because I'm actually doing the actual path for how you do the ritual to go. So there's 4 shrines, and you have to follow a certain ritual to go to each one. So you have to go to each shrine, and you're supposed to have a candle. You light the candle, you clap, you pray, and then you go to the next shrine, and then you do the same thing. So when you're done, you visited 4 shrines and lit 4 different candles at 4 different deities' places. It's very ritualistic. A lot of Japanese do this that go there, and a lot of Chinese that come here for the festival. So it's really quite amazing. And the last shrine is called Fujian Hall. It was built in 1867. This is actually the biggest place because this was a meeting place for merchants at the time. Now it's the house to the Funan Mazu shrine. So it's another deity shrine. So you can look up more information online about all these different things, but this is kind of my fun little walkthrough of going through the Nagasaki temple, the shrine district of the Chinese Quarter. So please like, comment, subscribe, and please tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks, and